What's up, everybody? My name is Mr. Info 5000, and today we're going to talk about the big game up here. One of the big games in sports, period. It was Michigan Wolverines visiting Ohio State on their annual battle. Now, it was a great game from start to finish from my perspective. Even when Michigan was down at what 1.10 to 3 all season long, Michigan's been a fantastic second half team, and Michigan ended up winning 45 to 23. Now, I'm a hardcore Michigan fan, but as you're watching this, don't get it. I'm not gonna talk junk about about Ohio State. I respect Ohio State. I want Michigan to be the program that Ohio State has become. Let's give respect. Let's stop all this nonsense. I respect Ohio State's program. Them some bad boys. They turn out so many NFLers, as does Michigan. And I want them to be good. I want them to be good every year. Even if Michigan's not good, I want Ohio State to be good every year. You want to beat good teams. And Michigan State, I got respect for Michigan State. I want Michigan State to be good every year. You want to, as far as Ohio State in particular, you want to measure yourself up against the best, right? Overall, you want to measure yourself up against the best from a national championship level. But to even get to that point, you got to get out of your conference. And the best in the conference still, even though Michigan has won 2 years in a row, the best in our Big Ten conference. What is it? Big 14, actually, and it's about to be 16 with UCLA and USC. All right, that's neither here nor there. But you want to measure yourself against the best. If you go through a whole season and just mopping up people, but when you get to the big game, you're gonna have a hard time overcoming adversity. And there's no more adverse situation that you're gonna come up with than another full-grown man directly opposite you, who in a lot of cases more physical than you, he's more bigger than you, he can be faster than you, and he can be stronger than you and stopping you. And if you get through something like that and you can overcome that, you'll be insane not to learn a lot. But first half of the game was close. As a matter of fact, I think Ohio State was winning. Michigan ended up winning, like I said, 45 to 23. Run game was on point. Some of the holes that Donovan ran through was just nobody was there. Ohio State didn't have any safeties over the top. And Donovan Edwards is fast, but he's not like a speed demon. I think he broke a 70-some yard run. He broke an 80-some yard run. He ended up with over 200 and something yards at the end of the game. And if you look at the last video I did about Michigan, which was at the halfway point, or was it during their bye week, the last video I did about them, one of the things that I kept saying is JJ McCarthy, their quarterback, need to push the ball down the field minimum twice, but I think he did it about 3 or 4 times, and it came with good results because Michigan has good special teams. Defensive line in particular is off the hook. Defensive backs, not world beaters, but because of the defensive line, they definitely hold their own. Now, number 0, Mike Sanders, still in the backfield. He used to be a wide receiver. That dude, he made some awesome defensive plays, didn't get any penalties or anything like that. Offensive line, just like I said, off the chain, because if you got one running back, Blake Corum, who's hurt. Blake Corum, he tried to go. He got hurt last week, so he tried to go this week. He has 1,457 yards, and he has 18 touchdowns, right? So you get his backup, which was Donovan Edwards, to go over 200 pounds. Now, kudos to both of these young men. Kudos to both of these gentlemen. But this is a team sport. And if the offensive line is not giving you room to run, it's obvious. You're not going to be able to get there. So that's why it's team, because you can have the biggest hole you want to, but if you don't recognize that and hit it at the right time, then you're not going to really be successful in the running game. So off top, kudos to both of those young men. Kudos to JJ McCarthy. Offensive line, I'm the type of person, I really like line play. I like to watch and really pay attention to line play, because those guys don't really get their name called. But the stuff that they do, 6 guys, sometimes 7 or 8 with tight ends and this, that, and the other, 7. They all working in unison. And these dudes are 6'4" plus, minimum 280 pounds. And they just all got to work in unison. It's really a beautiful thing to see. So next coming up is the Big Ten Championship, which they're playing Purdue. And I don't really know much about Purdue. I haven't watched a single snap of Purdue this year. So over the next day or two, I'm going to go look at Purdue and see what their strengths and weaknesses are. Purdue, historically, well, as long as I've been watching college football, Purdue has been a passing team a lot. Like that air raid type offense. And I really think the last time Purdue is the type of team, like Michigan is the type of team, they're going to compete for a Big Ten championship, probably like, once every 5 years. They'll compete for a national championship, once or twice every 10 years. Now, Purdue is that team is going to compete for a Big Ten championship once every 15 to 20 years. I don't think Purdue has a national championship at all. But I'm not going to take anything away from these guys. They are on the field. They're in the championship game. That's the opponent that's in front of you. And the only thing you got to do is you got to get the job done. And so 12-0 so far this year for Michigan. They look good. I've seen improvement every single game. And of course, you got all the other elements, but it starts with the quarterback. And he finally, against the best team that they played so far, he was finally able to overcome that one hiccup in his game, is where he couldn't stretch the field, like I said in the previous video. Not a 10-yard pass and the guy goes for 60. I'm talking about a 30, 40-yard pass and the guy goes for 60, 70, whatever the case may be. So he got that done. Let's see if he can continue that in the Big Ten championship game versus Purdue. So yeah, I was obviously happy. Me and my daughters were watching the game, and when I started talking junk, they started talking junk, and it was just, the whole experience watching the game this week was really, really, really good. So thank y'all for your time. You can comment, like, subscribe to this video. My name is Mr. Info 5000, and I appreciate everybody, and I want you guys to have a fantastic day. Deuces.